Hey y'all, what's good, man? I had to give y'all more perspective, man. So I became a dad. I've been a dad for 2 weeks now, you know. And I'm gonna tell y'all all about it, bro. I ain't finna go ahead and, tell y'all, give y'all a cookie cutter version or whatever the case is. Now, with all things being said, I love my family, right? I thank God for my family. And I was in that room and I saw everything through. I saw him come out, cut the umbilical, all that, no match. You see what I'm saying? And first and foremost, I would say you would really, really appreciate, you know, especially your woman, you know, for being able to even do that. You know, that's one thing. I'm not going to stick on that. Another thing I'm going to say too, don't be like, oh man, he's turning into a shrimp. No, it's not about that. I do see why a woman end up being holding bitter resentment for men in general when the guy gets up and walk out of their life with a kid involved or whatever the case is. Now, I knew this as a fact already. I was never one of them guys where I, cuss out baby moms or whatever the case is just because I know stuff happens, right? Yeah, we're pretty based over here. We're not gonna bash her simply because she a baby mom. Or now three guys, three different babies. Hell yeah, you're not. I'm not holding my tongue, but I'm talking about. I'm referring to like situations that some cases that you hope for it to work and don't work. Hey, it could happen to anybody, right? But I hold more respect now. Understand why woman will hold that resentment, even leaking over to other guys, because how vulnerable the woman is during those times, during the 9 months, and especially during like postpartum, where she's very unfamiliar with not only her child but the world, right? So I'm gonna leave that there. I want to talk about more so my Yelp rating of what it's like to be a father. So first things first, bro. Like I'm gonna say my first 7 days, my first week. In total, total 7 days. I only got like 13 hours of sleep, bro. You feel me? When they say this is the hardest job in the world, I think they mean that shit. Like it really is, you know. And don't come out here talking about, oh yeah, man, you need to be working 180 hours a week, and your wife needs to be the one that's at home doing all the, bro. Especially when you don't know the specifics, in regards to birth, like the injections, right? Cesarean sections, all that stuff. Depending on the case, your woman probably can't move like at all. She can't do nothing. You see what I'm saying? And stuff still has to get done. There's a lot of people online saying, yeah, man, like I'll never touch a dish in my life, and my woman better be, what I'm saying, Kryptonian, and like still be able to fucking fly around the house with all that happening. No, it doesn't work that way. Just like on the other end, you got some woman expecting a man to pay everything, right, and still take her out vacations, etc., etc. It's the same extreme, right? So going back to fatherhood, man, like I said, it's the hardest job. It's like, I won't say it's your boss because you're the dad, you're the parent, but you have a baby that's very unfamiliar, like with everything that's going on. Like came out the womb, which is such a confined space, and you're in this giant world, right, with bright lights and people injecting you and poking you, jabbing you with all these kinds of vaccines or whatever the case is, making sure that your hearing's good and changing your diaper. What is this foreign experience? I used to poop and pee inside my mom's womb, and that's what I need to get into. Like I said, it's difficult because the baby don't understand what's going on, and because it doesn't understand what's going on, because he or she don't understand what's going on, they gonna give you a hard time for it. You feel what I'm saying? And so the patience that you learn, right? You're just gonna get more patience over time, bro. I'm gonna be real with you. Like it's gonna be nights where you like, bro, I'm about to drop this little nigga at the fire station. Like I said, I'm here to talk plain please don't come up here in comment section talking about, yo, you might be a bad dad or whatever the case is. Fuck you. Either way, bro, like, there's gonna be nights where you're frustrated and you're like, bro, F this shit. And you always gotta remind yourself, like, nah, like, he don't understand nothing. And it's your job to make sure that he does. You get what I'm saying? And as he grows bigger, as he eats more and more, right? You're training him to become accustomed with you, familiarizing yourself with, mom, dad. I definitely see why I think moms need to be more hands-on though, and that's what's happening, right? But there's never a time or place where I'm gonna say, hey, this is your job, not mine. It's both our job, and that's what I'm gonna do. And I think that's what we're lacking today. There's no fathers around, so I'm gonna be a father every step of the way, right? But yeah, man, it's difficult, but I'm gonna tell you the superpower that you kind of get, and it's weird because you could look at it as a superpower, but your interest in outside is just heightened. It's just elevated. The sun shines so much brighter for some reason. It's just like, and it could be both. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, okay, it's simply because, oh my God, I brought a son into this world and now I'm a Super Saiyan. Nah, it's not like that. It is that, excuse me, but it's also, yo, finally I need to get the hell away from the house. It's both, right? Yeah, that's gonna make you want to start a business. That's gonna make you want to go all into a passion. It's because that time that you was taking for granted, right? Where you was probably on the game, wasting it away. You value that time so much more now that you don't even want to do BS with it, right? And that's what I'm trying to get into. You don't want to do BS with it. You want to do more, right? I was telling my friend how it was like, and he plays a lot of card and stuff like that, but it's like, imagine if you just log in one day and it's like you got a new expansion, and the expansion is like 5 times bigger than the original game itself, and on top of that you get double XP. It's nowhere near that. It's way beyond that. But I wanted him to goddamn kind of get an idea of what it's like. But yeah, for me it was like, it's one of my favorite episodes in Yu Yu Hakusho where Yusuke and I forgot what his spirit animal's name is, right? But he was very unfamiliar with his spirit animal, and Genkai, he was doing Genkai's training, so Genkai gave him that spirit energy, and that spirit energy was ripping him up, tearing him to shreds. And when he realized that his spirit animal was a reflection of himself, you feel me? Like, bro went crazy. Like, bro tapped in, was just like, yo, like, I can't let me down. Like, what am I doing? That's what it's like to have a son. It's like, you can't let you down. You feel me? Like, that is you. And you constantly have to remind yourself that is you. And you're going to get up, right? Your knees are going to buckle. You're going to bleed out from the inside. And you're going to have so much more power than you could ever realize to be able to get stuff done. But that's what it's like to be a dad. Like, it's very hard. Don't get me wrong. It's very hard. But the simple things in life, I could just kind of highlight to you. Like, and seeing him smile and seeing mom go through postpartum and stuff like that. I'm always say this, man, postpartum's a bitch. Like, I ain't gonna lie, it is. But if she's being a bitch to you, that's a whole nother story. I'm gonna always say this, and I'm gonna forever say this. And y'all might say, yo, it's only 2 weeks, bro, wait until she's like 3 months postpartum or whatever. No, you wait until I'm gonna be good. You feel me? I'm gonna always say this, like, if your woman loves you, it will reflect. If she doesn't, which most men won't experience it, which the same kind of guys that experience it, that's in that category, are going to come and tell me that I'm going to need to wait. No, I don't need to wait for nothing, right? You're going to deal with that. I'm not, right? But there are going to be real problems that she's going to deal with and you're going to have to deal with in regards to getting her back together, making sure that she's familiarized with the world again, making sure that her body gets back intact and even better than ever before, right? Things of that sort, right? Making sure that her mind ain't in a scramble because she just pushed out a baby. You get what I'm saying, right? So there's a lot that's going to be, that we need to do together. But best believe that she recognized that I'm on her team and then some. Matter of fact, that a woman's might even, and she's been coming off like this. She don't even want to come off as like she's like burdensome, like like she's a burden. And that's not what I've been hearing. Other guys been having nightmare stories about how their woman just switched up on them, right? That's not happening here, right? And it don't look like the signs have come through clear. But that's not what this is about. Either way, guys, just giving y'all a perspective. Like I said, just go out there and do, right? Stop thinking. A lot of people make videos and saying, just be retarded and just do. There's some truth to that.